В белом свете по долям, но не суди по делам, наш пади по делам. Лифт по этажам тянет по домам всех.
Yeah, I think he will. I counted. He had 4 rounds more.
Music? Yeah, I think he will. I count it. He had a 4-round more on my account. Or he might knock him out. I don't know. But personally at 20, you gotta get it right. And Frank, like I said, Frank knows what he's doing. And I think I'd be very surprised if they took that kind of test. Yeah, Turki Alalshikh gives a brutal prediction on Daniel Dubois versus Moses Itauma, even putting $100 million on Moses to win. That tells you everything. The faith is with Itauma. Experience, composure, and raw talent are on his side, while Dubois looks destined for disappointment. It is tough to guess, but I have a feeling that the experience of Alalshikh can be a decide in this fight. And while Turki is placing his faith in Moses, big names in British boxing are weighing in too. Frank Warren has confirmed it. Daniel Dubois versus Moses Itauma is happening this December. It's official. The stage is set, and there's no turning back. For Moses, this is the moment to prove he's the real future of heavyweight boxing, while Dubois risks everything against the young Itauma versus Daniel Dubois. I mean, that's a cracking fight down the line. Fight down the line. All these Brits are, look, we're blessed and I think we got about 5 Brits in. Tony Bellew calls it a dreadful fight for Moses. But let's be real, this isn't about throwing him to the wolves. It's about showing he can tame them. Toma's maturity, power, and fearlessness already set him apart, while Dubois has shown time and again that pressure breaks him. I think that's a dreadful fight for Moses too. I just think to throw this kid into the wolves at this stage, so early in his career, I just don't get what for. He's a young man. Let him develop the same as every other fighter. Let him learn his trade. Amir Khan pleads for patience, but when talent shines this bright, it can't be hidden for long. Moses at 20 already carries a presence most heavyweights dream of. Dubois might be on that list Khan mentions, but against Moses, he looks more like a stepping stone than a threat. You know what? You don't want to rush him. You want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. Don't rush him. Let him enjoy. He's still 20 years old. Let him get 22, 23 years old. And that's when you start putting in with the top names in boxing, the Usain. Let the Wilders, or even the Joshua and the Furies at the moment. I think you should keep on building him. Let him keep on winning. And while some say don't rush him, others believe the fight is exactly what boxing needs right now. Duke McKenzie captures the buzz. This isn't just a fight, it's a generational event. From kids and gyms to seasoned fans, everyone wants to see Moses tested. That excitement says it all. Dubois may bring the name, but Moses brings the future, and the whole boxing world feels it. Let's get that right. However, the intrigue that surrounds this fight, I've got young kids in my gym that are going to be tuning into this fight. 3 generations are going to watch it, aren't they? That's what's great. They're so excited about it. Tony Bellew compares Moses Itauma's youth and sharpness to Mike Tyson at 20, and the knockout proof is there. Moses has been blasting opponents out in devastating fashion. Quick, clinical finishes that announce his power and precision. Bellew says don't rush him, but when you've already dismantled a veteran like Dillian White with ease, the writing's on the wall, styles make fights, and Moses thrives on punishing defensive lapses. Look at Dubois, stopped by Joe Joyce, folded under Usyk's pressure. When cracks appear, he crumbles. Moses, on the other hand, doesn't give his opponents time to breathe. He swarms. He punishes. He closes the show. Bellew admits Moses could have beaten White even in his prime. And that's the kind of confidence that makes Dubois look like his next knockout victim. But I do believe with the ability that he's got, and with the skill set that he has coupled with what I've just said before, how calm he is. Yeah, he's a force to be. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what is it that kind of makes him so tough to compete with, let alone beat at this point in time? I mean, massive part is he's one of very, very few southpaws in the division. That's true. Yeah, he's extremely sharp. He's very quick. He's very young. Youth is a real thing. People don't realize that, he's 20 years old. Mike Tyson was 20 years and 5 months when he wins heavyweight championship with the world. So, there is still time for him to do it. But I just feel what's the rush? Because believe me, once he gets to the level, there's no going back. Yeah? He's at a certain level now with Dillian Whyte, but we all know where Dillian Whyte's at. Yeah, the tail end of his career, to be fair, isn't it? I just think don't take anything away from Mozesima. He could have done that to Dillian in the po of his career. Its styles make fights, and Moses always going to them styles that want to have a fight with Yora aren't necessarily very good defensively. He's going to pick holes in them immediately. Derek Chisora puts it bluntly. You've got more chance of winning the lottery than beating Moses Itauma. And he's right. Just look at the tape. Moses has left a trail of bodies with cold-blooded knockouts, barely breaking a sweat. He's built different, disciplined, and already fights like a seasoned champion. Dubois, meanwhile, has tasted canvas too many times. Joe Joyce shattered his eye socket. Usyk dropped him with body shots and forced him to quit. Even lesser pressure has exposed his shaky foundation. Against Moses, a fighter who thrives on exposing weakness, those scars will reopen fast. Chisora knows the heavyweight trenches. And when he says Dubois doesn't stand a chance, it's not hype, it's reality. Lottery odds sound harsh, but with Moses's knockout streak, it's generosity. Boxing a guy who's 24 years old who's got always, is right getting trained by one of the best trainers in the United Kingdom. And then it's like you got more chance of winning the lottery than you be to Moses or Tuma. Let's be honest about it. Dubois talks about being in a new position, setting goals, and knocking people out. But we've seen this script before. Against Joe Joyce, he folded under pressure. Against Usyk, he quit. Even when the lights get bright, Dubois has shown fragility, and that doesn't just disappear. Compare that to Moses, who has been stacking knockouts with clinical precision, dispatching seasoned names before they know what hit them. Dubois says fight night will reveal his hard work, but against Moses, there's no margin for error. Itauma doesn't give opponents time to adjust. He overwhelms them. Dubois has always been dangerous early, but when fights stretch, his confidence cracks. The truth is, talk about belts means nothing when you're walking into a knockout machine. Moses isn't looking to hear promises. He's coming to silence them. Things we've added. But on a fight, you'll see if them come to fruition. Right now, it's the hard work, the grind in the gym, the everyday sort of work, and I'm just keeping on top of it is what I'm doing right now. Carl Frampton tries to acknowledge Dubois' improvements, but history doesn't lie. Better or not, Dubois has broken down on the biggest nights. Joyce made him surrender. Usyk made him crumble. Frampton admits he's backed against Dubois before, and that's because he knows patterns repeat. Dubois may look sharper, more dangerous, but when the pressure hits, the old doubts creep back. Moses Itauma, meanwhile, has shown nothing but composure and destruction. His knockouts aren't wild, they're calculated, precise, and brutal. That's why Frampton calls Moses a genius. It's not hype, it's recognition of a fighter who already looks like the future. Dubois might enter the ring better than before, but better doesn't erase the past, and it certainly won't protect him when Moses starts letting his hands go. Improvement means nothing when your opponent is on another level. Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was. So he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fight. Duke McKenzie nails it. This fight has generational pull. From kids in gyms to grandparents who've seen heavyweight greats come and go, everyone wants to see Moses Itauma tested. Why? Because his knockouts already speak louder than words. One by one, Moses has taken seasoned fighters apart, showing poise well beyond his age. Every finish has been sharp, brutal, and clinical. Not reckless, but calculated. That's the difference between hype and destiny. Compare that with Dubois, whose story is riddled with collapses. Against Joe Joyce, he literally turned away and took a knee. Against Usyk, body shots folded him, leaving fans questioning his heart. Dubois can't escape those moments. They live on every highlight reel. So when people gather across 3 generations to watch this clash, they're not tuning in because they expect Dubois to shock the world. They're tuning in because Moses looks like the next king and Dubois looks like the perfect sacrifice. Let's get that right. However, the intrigue that surrounds this fight, I've got young kids in my gym that are going to be tuning into this. 3 generations are going to watch it, aren't they? That's what I mean. They're so excited about it. And when Adam Smith weighs in, he highlights just how dangerous Moses really is. Adam Smith admits it plainly. Moses Itauma could beat most heavyweights in the world. The only names he cautiously mentions are Usyk and Dubois. But let's be real, Moses already looks more composed than Dubois ever has. Dubois has been at this level